Most men spend their whole life trying to impress women, but they never understand one important thing. Attraction is not only about looks, money, or sweet words. A woman becomes deeply attached to a man when he makes her feel emotions she cannot easily explain. That is the real secret, and today you are going to learn the psychology behind it. Once you understand these powerful behaviors, you will never look at dating the same way again. You will stop chasing women for attention, and instead women will start thinking about you all day and night. This is not about manipulation or fake tricks. This is about understanding human emotions, confidence, and attraction on a deeper level. Most men never learn this, which is exactly why they stay ignored while other men naturally attract attention. Without trying too hard in this video, I will show you the exact psychological principles that make women emotionally attached and obsessed. These are not pickup lines or childish games. These are subtle mindset shifts and behaviors that completely change the way women see you. So pay close attention, because every point in this video can completely transform your dating life. The first psychological trick is simple but extremely powerful. Stop praising her beauty all the time and start appreciating her mind. Most men make the same mistake. The moment they meet an attractive woman, they instantly focus on her looks. They say things like, "You're so beautiful," or "You're the hottest girl I've ever seen." They think this makes them stand out, but in reality it does the opposite. Attractive women hear compliments about their appearance every single day. Hundreds of men constantly remind them how beautiful they are. After some time, these compliments lose all meaning. They become repetitive and boring. When you compliment her looks right away, you become just another guy trying to impress her. She immediately puts you in the same category as every other man chasing her attention. But something interesting happens when you ignore the obvious and focus on something deeper. When you notice her intelligence, her perspective, or the way she thinks, you instantly become different. Most women are rarely understood beyond their appearance. Most men are too distracted by beauty to notice anything else. That is why a meaningful compliment about her personality or mindset hits much harder than a compliment about her body. Imagine she says something smart during a conversation. Instead of commenting on her looks, you say something like, "You think differently from most people. I like that." That single sentence can affect her far more than calling her beautiful 10 times. Why? Because now she feels truly seen. She feels understood on a deeper level that creates emotional connection. When a woman realizes you are paying attention to who she is inside, she starts becoming curious about you. She starts wondering why your attention feels different. Suddenly, she wants your approval because you are not reacting like every other man. This creates what psychologists call value reversal. Instead of you trying to impress her, she begins trying to impress you, and that shift completely changes the dynamic. Now you are not just another admirer, you become a challenge. Women are emotionally drawn to men who make them feel unique and understood. That emotional experience stays in their mind for a long time. Another important thing is this: when you stop obsessing over her looks, your words become more powerful later. If you eventually tell her she looks beautiful after already connecting emotionally, the compliment feels genuine and meaningful. It no longer sounds like empty flattery. She values it more because it comes from someone she respects emotionally. That is why the smartest move is to feed the side of her that most people ignore. That hidden side is where emotional attachment begins. Now let's move to the second psychological trick: pull away slightly. When she starts getting too comfortable, this is where most men completely fail. The moment a woman starts texting more, calling more, or showing stronger interest, most guys get too excited. They immediately give all their attention back. They become overly available. They respond instantly every time. They start spending all their energy on her because they think that is how they keep her interested. But the truth is, constant availability kills emotional tension. Women rarely become obsessed with men who are always there whenever they want. They become emotionally attached to men who create a little uncertainty and mystery. This does not mean ignoring her or acting cold, it simply means you do not become emotionally desperate the moment she shows interest. You maintain your own pace and your own life. You stay centered instead of making her the center of your universe. Here is why this works. Psychologically, human beings become emotionally invested in things that feel uncertain. When a woman feels like she fully owns your attention, the excitement slowly fades away, but when she feels like she almost has you completely, her mind starts becoming more emotionally active. She starts wondering what you are thinking. She starts replaying conversations in her head. She starts asking herself questions. Why hasn't he texted yet? What is he doing? Is he losing interest? And the moment she starts thinking about you emotionally when you are not around, you are already entering her mind. On a deeper level, most men are terrified of creating any distance because they fear losing the woman, but ironically, that fear is exactly what pushes women away. A man who can stay calm, patient, and emotionally balanced appears more confident and valuable. He shows that his happiness does not depend entirely on female attention. That energy is extremely attractive because it feels rare. Women are used to men who panic emotionally and chase constantly, so when they meet a man who enjoys their company but does not desperately need them, they become much more emotionally curious. The key is balance. You do not disappear completely, you simply avoid becoming too predictable and too available. You maintain your own focus, goals, and lifestyle. That emotional independence creates attraction naturally, and the interesting part is this: when you finally do show affection, it feels stronger and more real because she knows it is not coming from desperation. It feels intentional instead of needy. Now let's talk about another powerful emotional trigger that many men are afraid to use correctly: subtle jealousy. Most guys hear the word jealousy and immediately think of toxic behavior or manipulation, but there is a healthy psychological side to jealousy that can dramatically increase attraction when handled naturally. The mistake is when men try too hard, bragging about other women or flirting aggressively in front of her. Usually backfires. It makes you look insecure and immature. But subtle social proof is completely different. Women naturally pay attention to men who are desired by others. This is basic psychology. When a woman notices that other people enjoy your presence, respect you, or are attracted to you, your value automatically increases in her eyes. It signals confidence, social strength, and emotional stability. Think about it. If nobody seems interested in a man, women unconsciously start wondering why. But if a man naturally attracts attention without trying too hard, women become more curious about him. The important thing is that you never force this energy. You do not need to show off. You simply live your life confidently. You stay social, outgoing, and connected with people. You carry yourself with calm confidence. Women can feel this energy without words. They notice the way others react to you. They notice how comfortable you are socially, and once she feels even a small amount of competition for your attention, her emotional investment increases. Jealousy works because it activates fear of loss. The moment she realizes she could potentially lose your attention, she starts valuing it more. Suddenly, she wants to secure your focus. She wants to stand out emotionally. And that emotional tension makes her think about you more often. But remember, subtlety is everything. The goal is not to make her insecure. The goal is to remind her that you are valuable and desired, not desperate and waiting around for validation. Now here comes one of the strongest mindset shifts of all. Act like you could walk away at any time. This is not about threatening someone or behaving arrogantly. It is about emotional self-respect. Most men become emotionally attached too quickly. Once they receive attention or affection, they start acting like losing the woman would destroy them. They overthink everything, avoid conflict, and sacrifice their standards just to keep her around. Without realizing it, they slowly lose their Confidence and power. Women do not become obsessed with men who cling emotionally, they become emotionally attached to men who stay grounded and confident, even in relationships. A man who can walk away from disrespect, emotional games, or low effort instantly appears stronger and more attractive. Why? Because he values himself. He is not relying on the relationship to feel worthy. When you carry yourself with this mindset, something changes psychologically. The woman begins feeling like she must earn her place in your life too. Instead of you constantly proving yourself, she starts investing emotionally. She starts wanting to keep your attention. She starts respecting your standards, and respect is one of the strongest foundations of attraction. Most women are used to men who tolerate everything just to avoid losing them, so when they meet someone who calmly walks away from unhealthy behavior, it surprises them. It creates mystery and emotional tension. They start wondering why this man is different. That curiosity becomes powerful emotional attachment over time. The important thing is that walking away is not a game, it is a mindset. It means understanding that your self-respect matters more than temporary validation. When a woman feels that you genuinely value yourself and your peace of mind, she naturally starts valuing you more too. That emotional strength is extremely rare today, and rare things always attract attention. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is becoming too predictable. At first, women may enjoy consistency, but over time, predictability without excitement slowly kills emotional attraction. Human psychology naturally becomes curious about things that feel uncertain and exciting. That is why mystery is so powerful. When a woman feels like she already knows every reaction, every response, and every move you will make, the emotional excitement starts disappearing. You become easy to understand and unfortunately easy to forget. This does not mean acting fake or playing emotional games. It simply means keeping different sides of your personality alive. For example, maybe you are normally calm, serious, and thoughtful during conversations. One day you suddenly become playful and tease her in a confident way. You make her laugh unexpectedly. That emotional shift immediately grabs her attention because it breaks the normal pattern. Her brain notices it. She feels something different emotionally, and emotions are what people remember the most. Women become emotionally attached through emotional variety. If every interaction feels exactly the same, they slowly stop feeling excitement. But when there is always another side of you to discover, curiosity grows naturally. She starts wondering what you are thinking. She starts trying to understand you more deeply, and the more she thinks about you emotionally, the stronger the attachment becomes. The goal is not chaos or inconsistency. The goal is controlled unpredictability. You remain confident and emotionally stable, but your energy does not become repetitive. Maybe one day you are deeply serious and focused, another day you are spontaneous and playful, another day you disappear for a while because you are focused on your own life. That balance keeps emotional attraction alive because she never feels like she fully owns your attention or completely understands you. This taps into a very deep part of attraction psychology. People value what feels rare and emotionally stimulating. Mystery creates emotional investment because the brain naturally wants answers. When a woman cannot fully figure you out, she starts creating stories and ideas about you in her own mind, and once someone starts imagining you emotionally, they become much more attached. Now let's talk about another important psychological trigger, triggering her competitive side. Naturally, most women will never openly admit this, but they pay close attention to how other women respond to a man. When a woman sees that other women enjoy your company, laugh at your jokes, or naturally gravitate toward you, your value instantly increases in her eyes. This is not because women are shallow, it is because social proof affects human psychology deeply. Most men make the mistake of centering their entire world around one woman. The moment they like her, they stop focusing on themselves, they stop being social, they stop Interacting naturally with others, and without realizing it, they remove all challenge and mystery. From the connection, the woman starts feeling like she completely owns his attention without earning it. That comfort slowly reduces emotional excitement, but when a woman notices that you naturally attract attention from others, her mindset changes. She starts becoming more emotionally alert. She starts paying closer attention to your behavior and energy, because now she feels like there is something valuable to lose. Suddenly, she wants to stand out emotionally in your life. She wants to feel chosen instead of guaranteed. Again, this does not mean intentionally flirting with other women to create drama that usually looks insecure and immature. Real confidence is quiet. It comes from living a fulfilling life, being social naturally, and carrying yourself with strong energy. Women can feel when a man has confidence, options, and purpose without him needing to announce it. The interesting thing about human psychology is this: people value things more when they believe others value them too. The moment a woman sees that other women enjoy your presence, your attractiveness increases automatically in her mind. She begins emotionally investing more, because now there is subtle competition involved, and competition naturally increases emotional focus. Now let's discuss something extremely important: giving attention and then pulling it away. Most men completely misunderstand attraction because they believe non-stop attention creates emotional closeness. So the moment they meet a woman they like, they flood her with compliments, messages, time, and emotional energy. They think more attention equals more attraction, but psychology works differently. When attention becomes constant, it loses emotional value. Human beings appreciate things more when there is contrast. If someone gives unlimited attention all the time, eventually it starts feeling normal, predictable, easy, and what feels too easy often becomes emotionally invisible. This is why emotional contrast matters. When a woman experiences deep connection, attention, and strong emotional moments with you, then suddenly feels a little space afterward. Your presence becomes much more powerful in her mind. She notices your absence because your presence had emotional value that space creates. Curiosity: she starts replaying conversations in her mind. She starts checking her phone more often. She starts emotionally craving another interaction. Most men never allow women to experience this emotional contrast because they are too busy constantly chasing. They text first every time they fill every silence immediately because silence makes them uncomfortable, but silence is actually powerful. When used correctly, silence creates space for emotional reflection. The key is balance. You are not disappearing to manipulate her emotionally, you are simply living your own life instead of making her your entire focus. That emotional independence is what creates attraction. A man who is emotionally fulfilled by his own purpose appears much more attractive than a man who constantly seeks validation and reassurance. Women naturally become more emotionally invested when they feel they must earn your time and attention instead of receiving unlimited access automatically. This does not mean being cold or distant. It means your attention has value because it is connected to a confident, balanced life. Now let's move to another powerful concept: silence. Most people underestimate how emotionally powerful silence can be in today's world. Everyone talks too much, everyone constantly explains themselves, chases reactions, and seeks attention. But a man who is comfortable with silence immediately feels different. Most men panic when communication slows down. The moment a woman becomes distant or quiet, they instantly react emotionally. They send more messages, explain themselves, or desperately try to fix the situation. But a confident man remains calm. He does not rush to fill every emotional gap. He allows silence to exist naturally. This creates a huge psychological difference. When a woman is used to constant attention and validation, your calm silence stands out. It creates emotional curiosity. She starts wondering what you are thinking. She notices your absence emotionally because you are not reacting impulsively like everyone else, but silence only works when your presence already had emotional impact. If you were emotionally invisible from the beginning, silence means nothing, but if you created meaningful conversations, emotional connection, and genuine energy first, then your silence suddenly becomes powerful. She feels the difference immediately. This is emotional self-control, and emotional self-control is extremely attractive. A man who can stay calm without needing constant reassurance appears strong, grounded, and emotionally mature. That energy feels rare today, which is exactly why it attracts attention so strongly. Silence should never be used as punishment. It should come from emotional balance. You are not trying to hurt her emotionally, you are simply showing that your life, purpose, and peace of mind do not depend entirely on constant communication. That calm energy naturally creates respect and attraction. Now let's talk about something very subtle but powerful: breaking her emotional patterns gently. Every person has emotional habits and expectations built from past experiences. Women especially become used to certain reactions from men. They expect compliments, predictable attention, emotional chasing, and validation. Most men follow these patterns automatically without realizing it. That is why they become forgettable. But the man who gently breaks those patterns immediately stands out emotionally. For example, maybe she posts a photo online, expecting the usual compliments and reactions. Instead of reacting like everyone else, you notice something different about her. Maybe you comment on her ideas, her sense of humor, or something thoughtful she mentioned earlier. Immediately the pattern breaks. Now she sees you differently because you are not reacting like every other man. Another example is when she tests your confidence emotionally. Maybe she acts distant, tries to make you jealous, or behaves in a way designed to get in emotional reaction. Most men fail these moments because they become defensive, insecure, or needy. But when you stay calm, relaxed, and emotionally balanced, it completely changes the dynamic. Suddenly she realizes you are emotionally stronger than most men she deals with. Women are deeply attracted to emotional stability because it feels safe and powerful at the same time. A man who stays calm under pressure instantly appears more confident and valuable. That emotional strength creates respect first and emotional attachment second. At the end of the day, attraction is not about tricks or manipulation. It is about understanding emotional psychology and becoming a man with genuine confidence, emotional control, mystery, and purpose. Women become obsessed with men who make them feel emotions deeply, not men who constantly beg for attention and validation. The biggest lesson here is simple: stop trying so hard to be liked. Stop making women the center of your identity. Build your confidence, protect your peace, stay emotionally balanced, and focus on your purpose. When you do that, your energy changes completely. Women notice it naturally because confidence, mystery, and emotional strength are rare in today's world. And remember this: the men women think about constantly are usually not the loudest, richest, or most perfect men. They are the men who create emotional impact. The men who feel different. The men who cannot be fully controlled or fully understood. That emotional mystery is what stays inside someone's mind long after the conversation ends.